Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's Father Dark, and today we're talking about Off the Grid. This is gonna be a little bit of a rant video, but still talking about it though. So, Off the Grid. How do we explain Off the Grid? Basically, if Apex, Call of Duty, and Fortnite all somehow had a baby, it would be Off the Grid. This game takes zero shame in pretty much just collectively bringing all of these genres of battle royales together and just kind of making one game. Now, I won't lie, you can see that I am level 10 because I've been grinding this game since it came out. But we're just going to talk about a couple different things here. So this game, I've actually been following it for a while now. It was probably about a year ago that, or maybe about a year and a half ago, I don't know exactly when, they let different big name content creators play it for a couple of days, and I don't really know if a lot of people like paid attention to it when it happened, or maybe they did and they just kind of forgot about it. But the game kind of went silent for a while. I think they had a way that you could like probably like pay for something or something, and maybe you could get like early plays of it, or whatever the case was. I may be wrong, let me know in the comments. But nonetheless, though, I had followed this game for a while because the game was really interesting to me. I thought it was a really, really cool concept, that it was different. We only got to kind of see what we got to see at the time when it was played by the other content creators for a couple of days. But I thought that one had a really cool like world and the concept. I think it's being done by Neil Blomkamp or whatever his name is, the guy that did District 9 and a lot of other really, really good movies that I've loved and stuff like that. But it definitely had like this cyberpunk, like I said, Apex Legend-y, Fortnite kind of like vibe to it. And I just thought it was a really cool mix of all the different games. So, but saw the other day that one of my kind of was playing it, and I thought, man, wow, they got the what is this, the alpha, the pre-alpha? I don't know, but it's available to play for PC players through the Epic Store, and I believe that it's available for PlayStation players and even Xbox Series X if you go through the Xbox Insider program or whatever the case it is. Nonetheless, though, I saw it and said, oh man, I'm definitely ready to jump in, especially where we are right now. I mean, as you guys know, obviously my page is pretty much dedicated to Call of Duty content. But every now and again, I like to branch out and play other things. I make 98% COD content, but if there's something else that's fun, and especially with the period that we are in right now, where it's that kind of off season with COD, where we're all just kind of waiting for Black Ops 6 to come out on the 25th. So, thought, man, I'm definitely ready to load this up and give it a shot. But I just have to say that this game has to be probably one of the most poorly optimized games that I have ever seen, like in all my years. I mean, next to Cyberpunk, I think Cyberpunk probably for me holds the record. I mean, it's no brainer that game is, they took it off the PlayStation Store. I've never seen that before, so it holds the number one spot. But this is definitely a close number two. And the reason why I say that is, I mean, having it set to all the low settings, I think I was getting like 29 to like 35 frames a second, but almost unplayable for the first day. But I just thought, well, maybe there's something going on with me. Maybe I need to update a driver on my computer or something, because my PC is not by any means, it's not like a $4,000 rig or anything like that. But it's definitely not, a slouch. I can run pretty much every game. My monitor only does 144 as far as like frames per second. So I keep everything pretty much capped at that, because why not? Well, you can't get more than that on this monitor until I update it. But like I said, pretty much any game that I've ever played, I've never had a problem reaching 144 on medium or high settings whatsoever. So my computer's not a slouch by any means. But this game though, like I played with all the settings, did everything I possibly could, and after getting it to literally look like it's Lego or Play-Doh version of the game, this is where we are. And I'm able to get around like 60 frames per second on a regular. It kind of drops down into the low 50s and 60s depending upon like what you're looking at, how much action's going on and all that kind of stuff. And it's at least somewhat more playable now than it was the first day or so that I was loading it up, and I was only getting the 25-30 FPS. but still though, I mean, completely unacceptable, by any means, and I've seen other people playing it, and they, I'm sure these are people that have like, like I said, $3,000-4,000 rigs and stuff like that. They don't seem to be struggling at all. But for the more medium PC builds, there's nothing in this game that I feel like is so crazy that I should be getting 30 FPS when I don't have literally everything turned down as possibly like low as it can. I mean, the game looks terrible when you have it on those settings. I mean, we're talking about Nintendo 64 graphics here. I mean, it's absolutely crazy. But with saying all of that, I'll say that the gameplay itself and the game loop, once you start to get the hang of it and you treat it more like an Apex Legend type of thing with adjustable, abilities and stuff like that versus thinking about it like anything else. Because I'm not gonna lie, sometimes it takes me a little bit to adjust to games, especially because I kind of like know life Call of Duty. I mean, that's what the channel likes. That's what gets me the views and stuff. So that's where I tend to like stick at. But like I said, I've played all the different games. Played PUBG, Apex, Fortnite. COD. Pretty much any other game that comes out. I've played multiple extraction shooters and stuff like that. So really shouldn't take me that long to adjust. But I think it was also the fact that I was playing. The game was like playing like a potato for me. So there was a lot going on, and people were jumping out. It's like by the time that they deleted me, I couldn't even like see the in between time. It's just like pretty much just happened because of the low frame rate. And then doubling that frame rate, now it's a little bit more playable for me and definitely more enjoyable. And now that I'm starting to kind of learn which abilities I like the most and all that kind of stuff and loadouts that I prefer, a lot more fun. And I have to say, like, I've had a great time playing it, but there's a lot of things that I don't like though that kind of bother me. For one, let's talk about like hexes, right? Now these seem straight up. This is one of the aspects that makes me feel like this is a very Apex Legend type of thing, except almost kind of worse, because with Apex Legend, I understand, okay, it's a free-to-play game, right? I'm definitely one of the biggest advocates of, the idea that we live in a capitalistic society, right? These people don't make video games for free for just our enjoyment and theirs and stuff like that. They're making them to make money. I'm fully aware of that, have zero issues with that whatsoever. So I understand if you have a game that's like a even with Call of Duty, right? Like you pay for like the base game if you choose to, but you don't have to. You could just play Warzone, which is free to play. So I fully understand why they have cosmetics. I don't even really have a problem with you giving people an option to buy extra cosmetics and battle passes in a game that they've already bought. But that's just me personally, right? And it's because it's like a content thing, which I use as a tax write-off as a content creator at the end of the year. So I'm not really concerned with that. But nonetheless, though, when the game is fully free to play, I'm definitely an advocate of you giving people, cosmetics and stuff like that. But what I don't like is when the game is pay to win, right? Like if I pay for something and it literally gives me more of a higher chance of winning over other people. I just don't like that. I much more prefer when it's just straight up cosmetics only. Like if I'm using a certain type of loadout and you've paid for a loadout or something, yours should just be really flashy and do some cool animations or something, but it shouldn't actually be able to like outperform mine or anything like that. I even feel like kind of with COD with like black cells is kind of like teetering because obviously when you buy the black cell, they pretty much immediately, you could choose to unlock like the meta weapon of that season, and it comes with pretty much the best attachments. I mean, a lot of times there's a few things that might be missing that you might kind of have to level up, but nonetheless, though, I can unlock mine pretty much right away, whereas you might have to spend the rest of the day leveling it up. So I feel like that kind of like teeters the line. But with this, though, it's completely different, right? Like, yeah, you're getting a lot of like weapon customizations and stuff like that with these hexes. Like let's check this out here. Let's see what this is. We got a cosmetic hex and I don't know if it's a skin or. All right, so this is a skin for the Kelowna, whatever. Anyway, so yeah, so you got that. But then also too, I think that like they're doing with this stuff over here. The let's see, let's back out of this. So you got like the OTG Pro, which this is another thing that's kind of like bothering me, right? Like you're already selling a battle pass for a game that is, I mean, horrendously optimized. I mean, this thing is just, it's terrible. I mean, it's ridiculous, right? Like, and I don't know if they're using like a new game engine or if this is something that, has been around. I don't know. If you guys know, let me know in the comments. But I mean, still though, like, And I also get it too, right? Like it's alpha or pre-alpha or whatever. The game's not fully out yet. They might have released it a little bit too early, and they still have to go back and change some things and stuff like that. But like when I look at like my stats, my GPU isn't even being fully utilized on this game, nor is my CPU. So the fact that I'm not able to get past like 60 frames without turning literally every single setting in the game down is absolutely atrocious. And I know I could probably double it because I saw that like you could go into like Notepad plus plus and you can pretty much change, you know, a few zeros or a few ones to some zeros and make the settings go even lower. But I mean, just look at how bad this looks. You can't even see bro's hairline or anything. Like it looks like his hair is white, but it's not. It's just not loading his hair in. Like, and this actually probably looks better than the actual gameplay. Let's just take a look at like the gameplay. I mean, as you can see, draw distance horrible, the rendering is horrible. I mean, there's zero definition to anything. There's mobile games that look 10 times better than this, right? And this is with only getting 60 FPS on a good day, right? Like, just unacceptable, you know. And like I said, you know, them selling battle passes and stuff, and hey, you know, once again, these are things you don't have to buy. Now that's kind of how I would feel usually, but the thing is though is that, for example, if we take a look at this, loadouts cost this, you know, the currency in this game is called like gun or something like that. So let's see, I don't know exactly how to get to, let's just explore the content and then, let's see, join OTG Pro. So yeah, so you got this stuff right here, it's gun or whatever, right? And you can earn this currency in the game, but you earn it really slow, right? Like, so I've been playing this for what, 2 or 3 days now, however long it's been out since release. And as you can see, I have 43.38 or whatever. So it's a very slow grind. I think you only get it like once you get eliminations and stuff. I haven't been paying too much attention to it, but I noticed like when I get eliminations and I look at my summary at the end of the game, you know, it might give me like 0.4 or 0.5 or whatever. So it's a very slow grind getting that. Nonetheless, I think that they're doing like an NFT kind of deal, like with this game, where they said that you don't actually like own the stuff in the game and you're able to, like, there's a marketplace, right? So like you can actually sell things in the game. So like if you look, it kind of reminds me of Delta Force Hawk Ops, how you know, when you extracted the stuff, you had the marketplace and you were able to sell certain things on the marketplace and you can get more of the gun tokens or whatever they're calling them in this game. But yeah, I don't really know how I feel about that. I haven't done anything with NFTs or any of that kind of stuff. I kind of felt like a lot of that stuff was a scam. I didn't really see the relevance of it. And I saw some games that were kind of trying to like go in that direction, but that wasn't something that I necessarily cared about. I like when, you know, I pay for a game, you know, I have that stuff for however long that game is around. And then like if something happens to the game, kind of like with COD, how you had Warzone 1, right? And the way that I look at it is that as long as you let me know ahead of time, because like they let us know way ahead of time that these things wouldn't be transferring over to the new version. And I kind of understood. They kind of like built that game like on a whim. And by the time it had gotten really popular, they said, hey, let's update it to make another one. And to be honest with you, you know, I spend more on energy drinks probably a day than I do when it comes to the average bundle in COD. But I do wish that it was a Fortnite type of system where I can learn to Fortnite right now, and I have all of the same skins and bundles and stuff that I got from like day one when the game released. That is nice, you know. Even though I don't play the game anymore, it's nice just knowing that that stuff is there. Same thing with Apex. Any of the stuff that I got originally, even my first dive trail that I got from Ranked is like still it's grandfathered in. Like it doesn't change every season, how it does for other people. I don't know if they've updated that and changed it, but that's how it was the last time I played it, which was, you know, however long ago. Nonetheless, those are just some of the things that I don't necessarily like about the game. But once you start playing the game, it is very, very, very fun. I can't lie. I'd be lying if I said that I didn't think the game was really fun. I think it has a very fun loop. I think that, you know, it's definitely, it has potential to be an amazing game. It's just they're going to have to get the actual core gameplay worked out before I'm going to feel comfortable investing anything or doing anything, because if it continues to go on the route that that's going in now, it's going to be DOA, you know, dead on arrival. and I'm just not going to invest my time in anything like that. And I'm really hoping that they take the feedback, because they ask me after every single match, did I enjoy that? And I'm like, no, I did, it was a terrible. I mean, I may have enjoyed some aspects of it, but the actual game itself is optimized horribly, like I've said a million times. So I'm hoping that they take all that in consideration and maybe get some people to help them to optimize it, make it a little bit better, whatever, a little more fluid for the majority of people. But besides that, though, I think that, like I said, they have a lot of potential to make this a really great game. Now, do I think this is going to be like Fortnite or Call of Duty killer or anything like that? No, but it's definitely one of those things where, every game has kind of like this period of time where they're kind of waiting for like the new season update to come out or whatever. And I think if this was that kind of game where they capitalized on that and they updated their games, when the other games weren't updating, I think that'd be that perfect game to like jump into and play, get whatever you're going to get out of it. And, then, once it's kind of at its down period, then COD does their update, Fortnite, et cetera, whatever it is that you're into. But I do like the idea somewhat of like having the extraction royale and the battle royale. I think that that's kind of like cool, because I think that that's kind of what's missing from like a lot of games, is that gameplay loop of the battle royale. You can count resurgence modes and stuff like that, because pretty much all the different games have their own version of that now. I think that's kind of like what's missing, because the thing about extraction is like that's kind of what makes me like want to come back to them. Like with Delta Force Hawk Ops, that's what made me want to keep coming back every day, was to keep building my cache of loot up, my base and all that kind of stuff, do the missions and all of that. Whereas with Call of Duty Resurgence, it's kind of like, unless there's some new cool meta weapon that you're having fun with for a few days before it inevitably gets nerfed, or literally everyone starts to use it, or you're just going for high elimination games, there's really not much reason to keep coming back to the game, So I definitely think that they're on the right path as far as like the extraction royale and really working on that. Like I said, the game is in, I don't know if it's pre-alpha, alpha, whatever. Nonetheless, though, it has not been released yet. So I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt that they're going to kind of go take the feedback and say, okay, well, these are the systems that we're having a hard time, and, we're going to do this and maybe change this around, whatever. And like I said, I wouldn't have a problem paying, what is it? I think it's, let's check one more time. I think that it's, yeah, it says $11.99 a month. So you think about that, right? It's not really that bad. I don't see where they have anything where it's like skins, like individual bundles to buy. I'm only seeing a battle pass, and that could just be for right now. But yeah, so I wouldn't mind paying $11.99 a month for their version of like a battle pass if it's a game that I regularly play. I'm usually into like supporting games that I regularly play, because why not? It's no differently than I want people to support me in my content creation endeavors and stuff like that I have, or any type of other like small business or anything that I'm doing, right? Like if I start a little lemonade stand in the corner, I'm not just giving away lemonade. I need $1 per cup. You know what I mean? So it's kind of the same thing, right? But still, outside of all the or aside from all of the different bugs and stuff that I've dealt with in a pre-alpha, which is totally understandable, that there's going to be bugs and stuff, right, and different things. But this goes a little bit beyond being buggy. This is just, horribly optimized, and that's okay, because you have not released it yet. You're not saying, hey, this is the final copy, here you go, boom, and then selling it to me, yada yada yada, right? Like, it's free to play right now. You jump in, you don't like it, you think it's trash or whatever, uninstall it, wait till it comes out, again later on with a better version. But like I said, I've been having a great time. I'm going to keep playing it. I'm going to see if, because honestly, I guess like, to me, I feel like the gameplay is so fun that I don't really need the graphics to be amazing right now. I think that would just be the cherry on top, but I've kind of gotten used to how like just horrible it looks, to be honest with you. I kind of think it's funny sometimes. But like I said, with where we are right now, until Black Ops 6 comes out, I honestly just I'm burnt out on COD. I play COD from the moment it releases every year. I grind out all the camos. I do everything. I'm constantly creating content on it. So it's nice for me to have something else that's fun to play and new, and something where I'm still kind of like learning all the ins and outs and the mechanics and everything like that. So I'm going to keep giving it a try. But let me know in the comments if you guys have played it, what you think about it, all that good jazz. And everybody have a good rest of the day. I think it's Friday, so you guys enjoy your weekend, and I'll catch you on the next one.